Hi, what's up everybody? Bootsy Greenwood here, and today I'm making a video that is just as much for me as it is for you. If you've been following along at all, we've done a 19 episode long series on reality transurfing on the channel with my friend Abby Johnson, who's somebody that I've been studying the book with for years. And we've come across other books and other ideas as a result of talking about reality transurfing, connecting with other people who are interested in the model, etc. And well, to be honest, I'm making this video today just as much for me as I am for anybody else, because no matter how far you go down this path, there's always going to be new challenges. There's always going to be new experiences that we get to overcome and learn from. Because if we're not growing, if we're not being challenged, well, we're not going anywhere. We're certainly not on the way to our goal. So a lot of the times, we're gonna face some uncertainty. We're gonna face some struggle, some challenges and things like that. And today I really wanna talk about and hone in on what to do when you are facing these challenges, when you're in the middle of a time in your life where things are changing rapidly, where there's not a lot of certainty, where things feel different, something may have come up that you didn't expect, and how exactly to deal with that, and how to, frankly, be prepared for it. Because the stronger and the more resilient that we are, the more that we know the principles in ourselves at a deep level, the more that we've internalized the ideas, the more it's going to become automatic. Now again, there's always going to be changes and shifts in the flow of alternates and things that we didn't expect, that our mind's going to be like, wait a second, this is not right. This is not what we asked for. We didn't want this. And it's like, okay, you have to stay steadfast, keep your heart connected to all things, and let your mind remind your mind that, hey, listen, everything is unfolding exactly as it should in order for you to get to your goal, even if it doesn't seem like it right now, right? Even if we're facing challenges, inadequacies, insecurities within ourselves. Okay, these are things that are very real for all of us, right? We all want to improve and become better people in general, although the point of transurfing is not necessarily to change yourself into some idealized version of yourself or compare yourself to a standard that's unattainable, but to slowly and methodically get to your goal. And what's going to happen as you do that is you are going to change and you are going to see differences in yourself. And first and foremost, the most important aspect of that is resilience, internal strength, and being able to stay relatively calm in the face of uncertainty. We've been talking about the mirror principle, okay? And really I want to focus on these last three here, okay? Last video, I talked about how this is the image right here, and this is the reflection. The reflection of the other side of the dual mirror is going to match the image that we believe about ourselves. Now this self-belief aspect, it's going to take some time. It's not like you just are like, oh, okay, well, I'm great. And then all of a sudden, click, everything. There's going to be a delay in the mirror, just like he talks about. So as we change our beliefs, and that's a whole other topic. As we change our beliefs, we're going to start to see the world reflecting in different ways. We're going to start to see different circumstances. And I'm here today to help you and me be able to identify and use the changes in the scenery and the script and the things that are happening to our advantage, as opposed to getting frustrated, giving up, and turning tail and run. So we want to change the image, right? And then the reflection will change. That's how we get to this higher, more idealized version of ourselves, okay? We don't want to put a standard on ourselves that we have to be, this perfect person. That's not reasonable. We obviously want to continuously improve, gradually over time, become better and better. But when it comes down to it, you are the person that you are, and you are perfect the way that you are. You are connected to everything in this world just as you are. And even if that one thing that you were really excited about isn't quite going the way that you thought it would right now, that does not mean that the alternatives flow isn't taking you exactly where you need to go, okay? I'm reading a book right now that's really fascinating about a guy who accidentally wound up in jail. And the dude is amazing. He just uses the opportunity to completely to completely help all the people in the jail. He's like, oh, I get meditation time. I don't have people pinging me all the time on my phone. Like, his attitude is just incredible. It's almost unbelievable what he's able to do. So here's what I want to get across today, okay? I want you to think about reality like a Polaroid picture. Think about your reality like a Polaroid picture. Remember those? You take a picture and then it spits it out, and then you have to wait. You have to wait on the image to develop, okay? It doesn't just come right out, okay? That image doesn't develop right out. That image, you're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting. Now, we used to have this little trick, and it's really fun. You can still do it. You can take a Sharpie of different color and sort of outline the image. You can enhance the image as it's developing, the Polaroid, and then it's kind of a cool little piece of art. So that's kind of what I want to focus on the idea of today, okay? So I want you to think about your external reality developing like a Polaroid, because we are changing our self-beliefs, we're changing the image within ourselves, and that is going to ultimately reflect in the mirror of external reality. Cause, effect. Cause, effect, okay? Things don't always go the way you think they should. Believe me, buddy, okay? As somebody, as somebody who's been practicing this, I can tell you that is almost always certainly going to be the case. Things are going to be surprised. There's going to be surprises around every corner. The world is so full of variables. But here's the big thing, okay? I want to use both of these as an example. So let's say that, okay, and I'm just going to draw a simple picture here, not really meaning anything. But let's say that this is you focusing on what you don't want, okay? So as the frame develops, there are certain things in here, okay? This is a good thing. This is, a negative thing. This is a good thing. This is a negative thing, okay? So what we want to be able to do is we want to use our attention to focus on the positive things, okay? Now, if we start to focus on the negative things, that's what's going to be highlighted in our reality more and 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 more until it takes up the whole entire frame, okay? And so these things that are being emphasized, the things that are being focused on in this frame, are the things that we don't want. Now, what's going to happen in this development of a Polaroid is the things that we continuously focus on, that we do not want, continue to get more and more attention, more and more momentum, and they continue to develop in the Polaroid. So they get larger and larger and larger, and they're emphasized, like with that Sharpie, oh, here's this terrible thing, okay, right? Versus if we were able to focus on the positive things, the things that we do want, okay? This is what we want to do even when things seem tough, okay? Even when things seem tough. The things that we want, all right? So I'll do kind of the same thing here. This is a positive event, quote unquote, negative event, quote unquote. As you can see, right? It really depends on us and how we interpret the event. What does Shakespeare say? Nothing is neither good nor bad. Thinking makes it so. So what we want to do is we want to emphasize the positive things, and then those start to overtake the frame. They start to be more obvious. They start to come in more clearly. They start to show us that the world is taking care of us, right? Like, that's the big thing, is my world takes care of me. I take care of my world. My world and I are going for a walk. And so that is the belief that we are changing in the image of the reflection. We believe the world takes care of us. And really, this takes time to experience over and over again. And the more that you experience it, the bigger the challenges are going to get. Now here's the last thing I want to leave you with. Now remember this. This is how we color the frame. This is how we color the frame, guys. We focus on what we don't want, we get more of it. We focus on what we want and how it's coming into fruition and how it's, here it is, yay, we've got it. Any reflection should be perceived as a positive. Release your grip and move with the flow of alternatives. Release your grip. Stop trying to control everything. As soon as you're like, oh no, this one bad thing happened. Now you're focused on it. Now you're going to try to take it by the throat and try to control it. Well, that's not going to help you. What you want to do instead is focus on the things that are happening, that are bringing us toward our goal. We can see these things happening in everyday reality. We can focus on it. We can count on it. And now our vibe is getting higher and higher as we move forward. Then when something unexpected happens, that's okay, right? We just allow it to be what it is. We don't focus on it. We don't freak out about it. We just allow and then continue on our path looking for the next thing that's positive, celebrating that and allowing that to be. Okay, so here's the last thing that I want to talk about with this. Here's your goal. Well, yay, you made it. Woohoo! And here is the process toward attainment, okay? So we start here. And what we want to do is we want to see our goal at the end and then backwards engineer it, okay? So this is the last thing that I kind of want to point out about this. As we're focusing on these positive things that are happening in our reality, and we're climbing up and climbing up and climbing up and getting to the next small goal in our series of events, or the next chain, the link in the transfer chain to get to the next series of events, the next event that's going to take us to the next event that's going to take us to and on up until this goal. Now, this is a very linear way for everything to fall out. You know, whenever I'm working with people in goals, this is where we begin. Here's the end. Let's start at the beginning, begin with the end in mind. What is the next step, next step, next step, next step? Okay, we usually start at the end and backwards engineer it. Now, here's what I want you to remember. This is so critical and important. The world doesn't work in a linear fashion. So sometimes it might seem like everything is falling apart here. You know what I'm saying? Because what's going to happen is you're going to start off, you're going to go up, and then you're going to have maybe a little dip here, right? Then you're going to go up again, then you're going to have maybe another dip, maybe a supreme dip. Maybe something crazy is going to happen right there. And this could be a place here where you could lose hope, where you could get frustrated, where you are going to want to give up. Stick with it, okay? Because it's not a linear process, right? Like it's going up and down and up and down and up and down. And then finally we do make it to our goal. So instead of thinking of this linear, exact chain of events, know that the events are going to fluctuate. They're going to be bigger, smaller, more intense, less intense. And the biggest and most important part of how we approach this is to try to remain as calm as possible, shift our awareness from participant, which is all these emotions of what's happening now, to observer, which is a much larger picture, higher level thinking, okay? And then just allow things to unfold as they should, knowing in the back of your mind that this is taking you toward your goal. This is just part of the alternatives flow, taking you to where it is you need to go. The more you fight the flow, the more it's going to fight you back, and the less you're going to get any of the things that you want, right? But what we want to do is, as we're going through the flow, as the flow presents itself, we take action, and every positive thing we highlight, we notice, we give gratitude and appreciation for. When something negative happens, we're so used to saying dissatisfying things, getting upset, etc. We want to avoid that, okay? Basically be benign or indifferent to the negative things like we normally are to the positive things, and instead give that good energy, vibration, love, appreciation, gratitude to the positive things that we see shaping in our reality. That's going to develop that polaroid in a positive way towards our goal, not away from it. So it's really up to us to determine our trajectory along this. There's going to be all kinds of crazy things that happen, up and down, up and down, and up and down. Your job is to stay true to who you are, stay true to your credo, and know that no matter what happens, it is the world actively taking you down the flow of alternates to your goal. Just like the gentleman's book that I'm reading. It's like right in the other room. It's such a good book.